This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Thursday, October 17th. I'm here with Al, Brandon, and Lindsay. I'm Tori. Let's get right to it because there's major drama at the White House. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says President Trump had a nasty meltdown during their meeting yesterday, and after being insulted, she walked out. Take a look. All right, we're just having technical difficulties. Well, Trump defended himself, tweeting out this photo, saying it was, quote, nervous Nancy's unhinged meltdown. Well, Pelosi responded, making the photo of her Twitter profile. Pretty epic. So a lot of people going back and forth. I find this incredibly childish behavior. Apparently, she said all roads lead to Putin with you, and he lashed out and started saying you're a third-rate or third-grade politician, so demeaning that Chuck Schumer said they all got up and left at once, and everyone else had their head down. How do you feel about this?
I mean, there were several people that stayed inside of the meeting to get stuff done for our country. So the meeting was about handling things in Syria. So to walk out and have a press conference and go on and on saying he has mental health issues, it kind of was a waste of time.
Well, Trump came out and said Nancy had
so back and forth, you want to say who started it. To me, that's also petty. So
I think she did absolutely nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. She went to have a discussion. They had a hard debate. She stood up, and he lost his temper.
So you're telling me that they didn't walk in thinking of impeachment? Like, there's a big cloud looming over this whole thing. There's an argument that's ongoing between Nancy Pelosi and Trump.
That happens in politics, Lindsay.
Exactly. So there's already a chip on both shoulders, I think.
Chip on both shoulders. She's been totally insulted by this president, never given the credence. She's third in line to this presidency. And of course she had to stand up because it's all men staring down at her. I think that picture looks amazing, and she should make it more of her campaign poster.
And I think that what Trump said, we'll see at the polls, is exactly what's happening from all this. No one cares about this back and forth, and people are going to go to the polls and take these Democrats out of the office that are not standing on their side and getting stuff done. To leave the meeting is not what they wanted. We need something to be done.
To scream at our Speaker of House is also...
People scream, it's politics.
Exactly, but they don't insult like he does. A third grader does that, not our president.
That behavior was better. This whole meeting was third graders to walk out and storm out and have a press conference.
You don't want to be insulted. You wouldn't take it either.
I wouldn't leave Syria hanging, though.
All right, I hear you. It's a good point. Good convo. Huh?
That's right.
Anybody else?
Let me check over that one.
Brandon, you watching the game tonight? Thursday night football. Yeah.
All right, well, you've got to see what one Utah state trooper did with only seconds to spare. It's amazing. The trooper pulls a man from a car just as the speeding train hits it. Here he goes. There he takes him out, and look, bam! The man had suffered a medical issue. His car became stuck on the track. Thankfully, everyone is okay, but check out the man's car. It is totally wrecked.
You can replace the car.
That's right. They're both lucky to be alive. At some point, you see him struggling. He was struggling to get him out. Do you not think this is God when you see things like this? I always think that's when you believe in God. I'm like, oh, someone's there.
Yeah, just those split decision just those split moments. Like, anything can happen. That could have gone the other way. But, I mean, thank you to that hero cop. I mean, we've done these stories about cops in the last, week or 2 weeks, and it hasn't really painted such a great light on them. But like we said, there are great cops out there who are heroes who run to the roar. So, I mean, God bless this officer.
He did that in 35 seconds. You know, the time he got out of his car, according to CNN, and to get the man out of the car and the train hit was 35 seconds. So it looked like he was walking slow, but that was a miracle. He's really a hero.
That's unbelievable. Well, congrats that. All right, Megyn Kelly made a TV comeback last night. The former talk show host was back on Fox News, and I want you to listen to what she said was her reason for leaving TV. Take a listen.
I left Fox News in January of 17, and the reason I left is because I wanted to be with my family, right? I was missing my kids' childhood. They were little, like 7, 5, and 3, so I could still see it. I could still be a part of it.
Nothing to do with blackface. Of course, Megyn left out the fact that she was forced out of her NBC gig after, like I said, remarks about blackface. How idiotic is this? And also, can she make a comeback, Al?
Yes, she's got fans in these streets. I mean,
is that not the rudest thing in the world, to just dismiss this enormous $69 million payout that she wore blackface? She's not even bringing it up.
Yeah, why would she? What does she have to benefit from that?
The truth?
Tori, come on, Tori.
What?
Yeah,
planet are you on?
People are constantly going to say that
doesn't
to
mean
her.
anything nowadays. Megyn Kelly, this is about money. Megyn Kelly is going to go back to Fox, where she is a nice, safe haven to say and do whatever she wants. No one will question anything she says or any take that she has. She tried to go to the other side. She was not received well. She did some things that obviously should have ruffled feathers. They did. She left. She got a huge payout, and now she's going back to where. So she did it perfectly.
She's rewriting history. You can't just do that. You can't just go on and be like, I left because I missed my kids.
Following Megyn Kelly do not care.
Are you going to say that on Tucker Carlson? Are you going to say that? Like, what would she gain by saying that on Tucker Carlson? She might as well just play that out, and then she probably has something in the works right now that she doesn't want to mess up. And it kind of alludes to what you say. She is the voice of white women for daytime TV, because for her to go back and to say something, for her to go back and to say like, oh, blackface was okay back in the day. There are a lot of people out there who feel as though what she said, there was nothing wrong with what she said. She's not Sarah on Strahan and Sarah. She's not even Kelly Ripa. She doesn't do fluff TV. And I think that she's going to get a job.
Brandon, I think you said it. I think a lot of people will hear what you just said and they'll be like, is Brandon defending her? No, he's not. What he's saying is, and we learned this during the 2016 election, that a lot of people don't see blackface as like an end game issue, an extinction level event for your career. And I think everybody was so shocked with the Access Hollywood tape, but clearly a lot of people just see that as locker room talk. Yeah. So Megyn Kelly does represent a part of this country that doesn't care about PC, doesn't care. Okay. And so it's hard for you to understand. Right. It's hard for me to understand. Right. But it's not for us to understand. There are 320 million people here.
And I want to make sure I clear up. She doesn't represent all white women.
Right.
Just those white women who feel
just
that she did nothing wrong.
I'm just kidding.
All right. For the very first time, we are hearing from actor Robert Blake's daughter. So if you recall, let me tell you the story. Blake was charged in the murder of Bonnie Lee Bakley, who was shot dead in 2001. Robert Blake was ultimately acquitted. Their daughter, Rose Blake, was 11 months old at the time. She's now 19 and spoke about reconnecting with her dad to GMA. Let's take a look.
Did you ever ask about what happened the night that your mother was murdered?
No. And I specifically asked him not to tell me.
So if your father truly murdered your mother, you don't want to know?
I don't want to know.
So I just got to go around the horn here. Would you want to know?
I think so. And she said, talked about her acting career and said, you get to be someone else. Think about the trauma that she went through, not even knowing her mom ever died. Her mom died when she was 11 months old. So she probably she probably just wants to know who her dad is and understand more about that relationship. She probably doesn't want to know exactly the details of her mom.
I don't get that, but I hear that. that's not how I would be. I would want to know. I don't know. Would you want to know?
Since it was such a high-profile case, no, I wouldn't want to know.
You
like, it's kind of like OJ's kids. I mean, I can't speak for them, but if I was one of those kids, I wouldn't want to know either, because when you're getting grilled and you're getting questioned so much, you're going to think about what your dad said, and you're going to put it up against what a jury thought, or what the DA or detectives, the evidence of the case.
I think what we're missing here is like everybody handles trauma differently. Yeah. Some people want to take it and pack it away and put it in the attic, and some people want to take it out and confront it and deal with it in therapy every
just
week.
A different way you can
so right now, and also we're talking about a 19-year-old young lady. At 40, we might be having a different conversation.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I make a lot of good points, Tori. I'm really smart.
We're just going to let that live there. How absurd that was. Actually, we are moving on to some very, very sad news. This hit me really hard this morning, as all of us.
I was shocked by this.
You were really shocked. Representative Elijah Cummings has died at the age of 68. The congressman from Maryland had represented his district since 1996 and served as the chairman of the House Oversight and Reform Committee. He died of complications from long-standing health challenges, according to his office. In D.C., and I know, as you know, in Virginia, he is known throughout all of Maryland as the man to stand up for Baltimore. Started in special ed, went to law school, became a congressperson. His mother, on her deathbed, said, "Do not let them take the vote away from us." She was a former sharecropper, and look how far.
And I don't think people really understand what sharecropper. That means that you're basically a slave that can leave, but you don't have any money. His parents worked in the dirt, and for him to go on to get 12 honorary degrees, I mean, we all talk and tweet and get real tough on the internet about civil rights and what Black Lives Matter. He sat at diners and was beaten and bloodied for what he believed. He was a dude. He was the man. I will never forget him, and a lot of people are where they are today because of Elijah Cummings. He literally died defending what he believed believed in it. How many people can say that?
And they all said when he spoke, everyone listened. He had this powerful voice in Congress. And so I think he fought to end discrimination and just really make a name for himself, and just died still doing that, because we didn't even know that he had health problems.
I didn't even know. Well, what's interesting,
That's why I was so shocked.
I know, he was only 68. The very trendy thing that went popular, if you don't know who he is during when the kids were the migrants we were discussing in cages, and he shouted out, "Come on, man, they're human beings." He could cut right through and speak like you or I would speak, and I think that was a tremendous service to our country. May he rest.
Rest in power.
That's right. DBL is live, and coming up, it's been more than a decade since a Florida woman vanished, and the one clue that could help has detectives scratching their heads. Don't miss the chilling story in True Crime Chronicles. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. So cities across the country are banning fast food drive-thrus to reduce pollution. But is that really the answer? Your comments coming up next.
Driving without car insurance.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Kelly Schubert here, the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you. It is Thursday, we are almost to the weekend. We can do it, you guys. Let's go to the desk and see what's going on. Hey Bert, we good?
Don't worry. I think he was too young. But she is the boy.
Okay guys, I guess we're gonna stick over here. We got a great show coming up for you today. A great fifth host too that's coming up next, so please give us your DBL take on that. A lot of other great stories coming up, but I wanna know what you think about Megyn Kelly and our conversation there. Do you think she should come back to TV? Do you think she will come back to TV? Do you even care if she comes back to TV? Let me know. Let's go talk to Al over here. Hey Al, what's happening?
What's going on? What's up, y'all? I'm still shaken by the news of us losing Elijah Cummings, just because
I don't know.
not only that he seemed strong and he was strong, but just
So it's NBC.
he's one of those people, and I think we all have older folks in our life that never tell you how sick they are until it's kind of right at the end. I had no idea. They even said that I guess he hadn't done a, what do you call that, a Senate roll call, House call?
Yeah, roll call.
Roll call. I guess he hadn't done one since September.
Oh, wow. So he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, so he's been sick for a little while, but I was telling him, we all have older people in our family that just don't tell you how sick they are.
It's like your father.
Right.
I didn't mean to be so
open,
but your
I
dad
had no
did too.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him kind of going downhill, but I didn't know. It's just kind of old school to just that whole "don't worry about me, I'll be fine," and they know.
Yeah.
And so so I was shocked by this, especially since he and Trump had that back and forth about Baltimore.
Remember that when they went after Baltimore and he goes, "I live and die." He went to Howard University, he went to University of Maryland Law School. This man was Maryland through and through. And as Ray's Vibe said, quote, "This is not who we are." That was during that famous speech. If you go to my Instagram, I have the whole thing. He says, "Come on, man, there's kids living in their feces. We can do better than this. They are human beings." And it just sort of broke the wall of PC-ness to be like, what are we doing? We're the United States of America. Yeah. So may he rest. He deserves all the rest that he deserves.
So young.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. So fast food became even faster with the creation of drive-thru, but that might come to a screeching halt. I like the imagery.
Yeah.
Right. Minneapolis recently became the latest city to ban fast food drive-thrus. Lawmakers say this ban will cut down on pollution, plus help combat obesity. But this could leave busy parents, the elderly, and people with disabilities underserved. So DBL Nation, are you on board for this ban? Lindsay, take it away.
Okay, Chaz from Facebook says, well, what about Uber Eats or Grubhub? Should they be banned too?
Ooh.
Exactly, Chaz.
That's good.
I love drive-thrus. If they take away drive-thrus, that would really make me angry, because when I want to go eat fast food, I want to drive through, put my Chick-fil-A in the car, eat it up, and go home. It's after a long day usually, and it would really make me angry if there's no drive-thrus. I don't want to walk in there, stand in line with all those kids.
Inside of
No, I don't care. Get your car washed. Get your car cleaned. No,
she's saying it's weird to go into the actual.
Oh, yes, I agree with you. Sorry, I was such on a rampage. I wasn't listening.
It's always just you in there eating on that weird tray.
It's so odd.
It's so cold in there. All the kids running around in the jungle gym. No. You don't go to fast food to deal with all that.
All right. Lori, save us, Lori. Lori on Facebook says, this is going to upset a lot of customers like Lindsay, and the new locations without drive-thrus will lose a lot of business. Yeah, they're talking about this is going to combat obesity, but I don't see what an extra 20 steps is going to do. Plus, think about the joint pain, because when you're standing in line waiting for your McFlurry, your knees are going to start aching.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, what's wrong?
Maybe the McFlurries is why you have joint pain. Marcos from Facebook.
1 + 1 = 2.
Marcos from Facebook says, why not just limit the number of restaurants per area? Interesting. Fast food is not healthy, nor is good for the environment, regardless if you walk in or drive through.
And that's because people's cars are left running, just so people know, for the pollution.
Yes, and I mean, that does make sense. I'll just say this as somebody that's a father of 3. Sometimes those drive-thrus save you, because trying to get 2 or 3 kids out of a car seat is no bueno. So I will say there are people that either have trouble walking, which is a lot of Americans, and they should not be forgotten either, or people with kids or whatever reason you can't get out of the car. I feel like they should be accommodated, but I do kind of like the direction we're going. We did limit the size of sodas that you could buy. Remember when you used to be able to get a trough of soda? You can't do that anymore.
Can I have a barrel of Diet
and I
Coke?
think we're all okay. I don't mind taking little steps to make us all healthier, even if we don't like it at first.
I agree with you. Well, Crystal from Facebook says, I feel really bad for people with disabilities. It's like they weren't even considered. Speaking from a person who comes from a mother who is disabled, I completely agree with you. Also, I'm lazy, and I love a good drive-thru.
Thank you for being honest.
I don't want to get out of my car and sit on a plastic red chair. People are looking. I just want to eat in my shameless car and listen to my Taylor Swift alone.
Maybe they should champion electric cars for everybody instead.
Exactly.
That might be.
I don't like the no drive-thru
And look,
thing.
we are a nation on the go. That's why you call it fast food. You want to be able to get through the line, get your stuff, and get to where you have to get to. Yeah, if you want to go and sit down and have a meal, then you're going to go to Applebee's, or you're going to go to one of those type diners.
Or Panera Bread.
Or Panera Bread without Al. Panera Bread has a drive-thru too, Al.
Yeah, because they're making sandwiches. It's real easy. Ham and cheese sandwich for $11.
I can't believe you brought back up Panera. I told you never to bring back up Panera.
So overrated. Would you
Coming
guys
up
grow
on
up?
DBL, a family's desperate search for answers in the mysterious disappearance of their daughter over a decade ago. Don't miss True Crime Chronicles coming up next.
We want to know what you guys think about this fast food
I want to
ban.
ask you a question, because this is like one of those weird things. You guys, let me know what you feel. This is like kind of a random question. Why doesn't Subway have more drive-thrus in that?
So that's not.
It's a thing where you can't really mess the order, because you're saying I want a ham and cheese on white, mayo, extra lettuce, cheddar cheese. It's not even like an order you can. I would think Subway would be the #1 fast food place that has drive-thrus, but you rarely see a Subway drive-thru.
Yeah, rarely.
I think Subway should go away. It's gross.
Not about anything like that.
I don't like the bread.
No, but I get it. I know a lot of people like the bread. I like Firehouse subs personally.
No,
they're not as mainstream.
I would say this though. I think the reason Subway's popular is because of where it can fit. You forget we're in a city right now. A lot of people live in cities, but also in between every city, there's a lot of land. And a Subway can fit in gas stations and stuff like that. There's not like ovens and stuff you gotta buy. You can really just eat bread and cheese and meat. And so I think Subways are just really convenient.
I've never seen one with a drive-thru. Have you guys?
What?
A Subway with a drive-thru?
Subway.
That's smart. Or Chipotle. Why isn't there a drive-thru Chipotle?
Subway's hard because you gotta pick all your ingredients.
Yeah, but put a list and be like.
You gotta sit there and go, I want lettuce, I want the tomato.
That's not that hard to do.
But if there's somebody on the headset, white bread, toasted, ham and
That
cheese.
is a lot. Now you said it.
Sometimes when it comes to the honey mustard, I gotta watch them pour it. I go like, no, that's enough. I don't know how to explain how much I want.
Lesson of the day. Talking to Subway.
That's why Chipotle.
Welcome back to DBL. The disappearance of Jennifer Kessie has captivated the country for the past decade. She vanished from her Florida home, and the one clue left behind has investigators baffled. 13 years later, where does this notorious case stand? Well, we're taking a look in DBL's True Crime Chronicles.
Jennifer Kesse had a contagious spirit.
And I have been asked.
Her hugs, she gave the best hugs.
That young girl grew up to become a successful 24-year-old, working as a finance manager in Central Florida. But on January 24th, 2006, Jennifer never showed up for work.
For the first time since she was 15 years old, and we gave her her phone when she got her car, she didn't pick the phone up, and it didn't go 4 rings to voicemail. It went directly to voicemail, and we knew that second
that something was wrong.
Drew and his wife Joyce rushed to Jennifer's condo in Orlando. A wet shower and clothes folded on the bed left subtle clues she had been home earlier. But Jennifer and her car were nowhere to be found.
I'm gonna divide everybody up into 3 groups.
Police and the community desperately searched.
We've been looking for this young lady. You see anybody looking like that?
2 days later, Jennifer's car, a black Chevy Malibu, was spotted at a nearby apartment complex. Luckily, a surveillance camera caught a glimpse.
Someone sat in it for 32 seconds, presumably wiped it down from what we know of what we took from the car now, and walked away, never looked back.
The camera flashed every 3 seconds. Unbelievably, the suspect's face was blocked in every single photo.
Luckiest person in the world, if you ask me.
Police even enlisted NASA's help to enhance the grainy image, but no luck.
Do I think we'd ever be here a year later? Absolutely not.
But now, 13 years later, the Kesse family is still living this nightmare.
Every day is Groundhog Day because it's the same day, the same day.
Call it a mother's intuition. Jennifer's mother believes that nearby construction workers were involved.
Jen had shared with quite a few people that the workers made her feel uneasy.
The problem, most of the workers didn't speak English, so investigators never interviewed them. And then they disappeared from the work site.
Was she trafficked? Was she trafficked?
Her family fears the worst.
They take women to rape them, to use them, abuse them, and then kill them if they don't want them anymore. That's why women get taken, period.
Alive or dead, her parents just want an answer.
If you give us this of her, that much of her, then we know. Then we deal with what we have to deal with. But until we get to that point, every single second of every single day to us is frantic.
While they desperately search for clues in their daughter's disappearance, they know they can't do it alone.
If that person is listening, that has to eat at you. Yeah. It just, I mean, it's human nature. It's got to. And you know what? Someday, someone's going to come forward.
Wow. So, yeah, I read really hard up into this case, and the fact that people are stuck on every 3 seconds, the suspect who was getting out of her car, parked it, and walked away, that was the guy. You can't see any image of his face. I think that is so tragic.
Yeah,
right?
I just think the fact these parents can't move on.
Yeah.
And I can't blame them. I know I wouldn't be able to. So.
I
just hope they find that closure or something.
Yeah, they are suing Orlando to get the documents and starting again with a new team of private investigators. So let's hope if anyone sees Jennifer Kesse or knows anything, we will have all that on our Facebook pages and social media.
Please.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
William Shatner.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. I'm your boy with all the beauty knowledge, Jeray for the Slay, and today we're talking about the new fall fashion that's taking over with hair. Yes, my friend, it's the bob. Now, it's not just any old bob. Platinum bobs are really showing out this fall season. Now, you may be wondering, what do these look like? Well, a couple celebrities are here to show you just what they look like, honey. Starting off with the fabulous Khloe Kardashian. Now, she recently posted on her Instagram a picture of her rocking a sickening inverted platinum bob piece. Now, a piece, if you don't know, is sometimes a wig or like some people call them like a little party hat. They're cute, but we're just gonna say that it's her hair this time around. Okay. So with that being said, Khloe was stunting with it. Now, this inverted blonde bob that she had actually had longer layers to the front to help lengthen her face and shorter layers to the back of her hair. This is a great way to really show off that style in her hair, really helping to shape her face a little bit more. And let's just face it, who wants to deal with putting all that long hair in a sweater jacket for the fall? Ain't nobody got time for that. Now, speaking of Cardi B was also rocking a fabulous platinum bob, and she looked amazing in it. Now, this was styled by none other than Tokyo Styles, and it looks seamless on her. Now, Cardi B is known for rocking so many different styles, but this, I have to say, is one of my favorites. She definitely got the slay, honey. Now, other queens or celebrities who are rocking this are Millie Bobby Brown and also Dua Lipa. Now, Dua Lipa was also seen stunting on a platinum bob, and she just stole the show for me recently. So we want to know, what hairstyles have you been seeing this fall, and what celebrities have you loved with these new hairstyles? Let me know at Jerry for the Slay, and we'll see you guys next time. Welcome back to Beauty Blast. I'm your boy with all the beauty knowledge, Jerry for the Slay.
DBL, we love sharing your comments. Albert.
All right, Tony Godden says, and he's talking about the drive-thrus. He says, this is one of the reasons families don't communicate at the table. That's interesting. And get to know each other. Just another distraction and a healthy meal they should have. So, I mean, I think it would increase health, but.
And conversation.
I guess so. You can talk in the car, though.
Yeah, that's true.
What do I know? I like what Tony had to say. And also, Brandy Sprung says, I use the drive-thru when I have a sleeping kid in the back. Done that, Brandy.
Yeah.
It's fast food, and it's supposed to be fast. And I mean, I think ideally we'd all sit down to a nice meal with a napkin in our lap, but sometimes you got 11 minutes to eat. And I think fast food does serve a purpose as well. So
that's true.
The reason it's popular.
And just so you guys know, it's all for new construction of fast food restaurants, not old. So you won't say goodbye to any of your local joints.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right. No, I know. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.